In this video, we are going to unbox, review, and test this KFPlan 10 scale 4-wheel drive RC monster truck and see just how good is it. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. You'll tend to find me bashing and crawling and drifting and racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. This is a 4-wheel drive 10 scale monster truck that you can get on Amazon for like 115 bucks. Super duper cheap. Normally I'd pass it by, I wouldn't even notice it, but bang for the buck RC Reviews, I'll leave a comment to his channel down below, hello out there, did a review on this and it looked surprisingly good, so I had to get one myself to give it a shot. Let's get it out of the box and see what's in there. The first thing you see when you open it up is this instruction manual. Gives you some overview of how to use the vehicle, but more importantly, some exploded diagrams and parts lists. So if you do need any parts, you can see how they go on and the part numbers in order to get the replacement parts. You also get this little box here with some USB battery chargers and a wheel wrench. And then one battery here, I'm guessing another battery in the truck, but unmarked. I'm assuming because of the balance wires that we have here, it is a 2-cell LiPo battery, but unknown milliamp hour. Feels very light, so I'm guessing it's not very big inside this hard case. We'll go ahead and get it on the charger and get it charging, but kind of odd that there is 0 marking on it as we get started. What is not unusual, however, is the truck itself looking quite nice here. Check that out. Big red springs for some reason on it, but the tires look good. It's got a lot of parts here from the styrofoam on it. Body looks nice. It has a big, strong front bumper. It has lots of plastic protectors here for the inevitable crashes to help protect the body, which is really nice. You do notice pretty quickly those are not oil-filled shocks. You see all that bounce on there. That's because there is no oil in those shocks whatsoever. Taking off these 2 body clips here in the rear, we then have a nice little feature here where the front is a clip-in system. And we have LEDs. You'll see LEDs right up here on the top. And it is actually just plugged in right here to this. It looks like 2-in-1 receiver and ESC together. I'm going to go ahead and unplug those so I can get the body out of the way. As expected, we do have another one of those batteries here, so you do end up getting 2 of those batteries, which is really nice if you're going out and driving it. It is a brushed motor in this model that I got. One of the things that initially intrigued me about the design of this truck, though, is this whole plastic tub chassis. So that is very similar to what we'll call some more premium, higher-end vehicles. This tub chassis design and the steering design up here is slightly reminiscent of a more high-end, higher priced vehicle that we've seen out there. What we do see, plastic control arms on all 4 corners, which is as we would expect and as we would want. We do have telescoping plastic drive shafts on all corners, and it does look like plastic hubs. You'll see a little bit of a like fake brake rotor through the wheels there that look nice. We'll have to see how durable those plastic drive shafts are in this range of vehicle. Frequently we'll more likely see metal drive shafts, so I'm not very excited to see those plastic ones in here, but maybe they're designed to be strong enough. The good news, looking in the manual here, you can see that the input gears and the diff gears actually are metal. That's great. Those otherwise can be something that will easily break, so the fact that those are metal does give you some good confidence into the durability. I put 4 AA's here in the bottom of the controller, and now we can actually turn it on here on the side. And you will see we do have steering reverse and throttle reverse. It's a 2.4 gigahertz controller, just like it's pretty standard here, which means you do not need to worry about any kind of interference if you do get more than one of these. We have steering dual rate, we have throttle dual rate, and steering trim. The important part about this throttle dual rate, make sure it's all the way up. This is actually a throttle limiter, so the further down it is, the more it will restrict your power. The further up it goes, the more power it's going to give you. You're going to want that all the way up, unless you're handing this off to some more inexperienced driver. Now with those lights, you also have this button here on the controller, so you can actually turn the lights on or off. Word to the wise here, off camera I was messing with the lights here, and on the 2-in-1 ESC receiver, there's a bunch of plugs plug holes. And I believe some of them, especially when you look at the instructions, are actually labeled for like additional fans and stuff that you can do. If you accidentally plug your lights into, instead of these first two plugs here, if you plug them into these middle two plugs, it'll fry them. As it turns out, there's more voltage coming through there, and I absolutely fried these rear lights. Smoke came out and actually blew this center LED straight out of it when I accidentally plugged this into the wrong port. So if you get this, be very, very careful, especially if you end up with any younger folks around plugging or unplugging those lights. You might blow them, and that's okay. I mean, it's just a light. It doesn't hurt the function of the overall vehicle, but it sure got my attention with a spark and a flash of smoke. One thing that's pretty common with these vehicles is they provide a plastic outer sheathing to help protect the body during shipment. The issue here is this whole thing has all of this plastic all on the whole body. That means it's kind of hard to take it off. It's actually usually really satisfying peeling it off and showing that fancy paint job in underneath. Here's the problem is I can't really do it because it's stuck in under this plastic. What I would eventually need to do is come in here and take all these screws out of this whole thing, front and rear, and take this piece of plastic apart in order to get all of this up. And you know, the truth is, I don't want to. That's a lot of work, you know, but if I do it just this way, it's going to leave all this ugly kind of mess around here. So they either need to be able to put this plastic covering on the whole thing after these protectors are put on, or maybe they just need to not worry about it for this truck. It'll be fine in shipping. If I'm new and I'm getting this, and one of the first things I have to do is take all that plastic off, I don't know. Maybe not such a good look. Well, test number one, completely successful. What does everybody want to know? Can it pull a wheelie? Well, yeah, you just hit reverse and hit gas. Whoosh, pulls a wheelie, life is good. Because of the super soft suspension, you can actually get it to kind of move around a little bit. It's kind of fun actually to watch it as you're driving it around on a tough surface, to see the suspension really work. It's kind of cool actually. Like I mentioned in the garage, you have this button here, this knob, where you can actually reduce the total throttle. And if you actually take it all the way down to 0, that's how fast it is at full throttle. So it's a significant reduction. So if you're worried about anybody driving it too fast and crashing it, you have an ability to reduce it right there. Wait a second. Just to be clear, I'm not going to cut like any of this out of the video. You just saw all of the driving of this car. I'm not going to cut. I mean, maybe there's a couple minutes off camera, but basically you saw everything. And we're broken. I don't know if you can see that drive shaft has come in two. It actually just came out of this inside cup here, and that part is not even, so we can't even reassemble it. It's missing. It's somewhere out in my front yard now. So, dude, that's disappointing. Like, we didn't even get like even part of the way through part of a battery. That's horrible. So there you go. There's your review of this vehicle. don't get it, I'll provide a link down below to some that I've actually tested very thoroughly and actually do really well. If you're curious to more extensive reviews instead of just links in the video description, I have a vehicle review playlist that'll be popping up here to your right, and you can go check it out there and see what other vehicles I've reviewed and actually suggest that you order and have fun with instead of the $115 that I spent on this one. So boo, there you go. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.